Hi, good morning. I just thought we'd have a little stretch out and a movement moment um, to do throughout this Christmas period. So come and join me. Okay, I'm going to start just standing towards the end of my mat, and we'll start by just floating those arms out to the side and all the way up and around. I want you to reach up to the ceiling. Bring the palms of your hands together and slide the hands back down in front of your face. I'm going to move away a little bit because you can't really see what I'm doing, can you? So we'll go to here and then we'll circle those arms all the way up and round. Lift them up to the ceiling. Lift the chest a little bit here. Bring the palms of the hands together and bring them down in front of the body. Have a little tuck of the chin here. And we'll just do one more exactly like that. Send those arms out and round. We're standing feet hip width apart. Weight even through those feet. So we just move the arms round, connect those hands, find a little bit of energy into the palms of those hands. And on this next one, we're going to find a little roll down from here. Just turning the fingertips towards the floor, tucking the chin and peeling that spine forward and down. Breath in there. Feel free to soften the knees at this point if that feels good for you. And then we straighten those legs up. Find your center. Pick up through that center as you bring the pelvis and then the spine all the way back up to neutral. Two more exactly like that. Sweep the arms around and up. Palms of the hands come together. We draw them down. A little bit of energy through those arms. Tuck the chin and we peel the spine forward bone by bone, turning the fingertips to the floor. So we dive forward and down. Feel free to soften those knees. Take a breath there. And then as you breathe out, push the floor away. Find some energy through those feet now as you restack that spine all the way back up for one last one. Swooping the arms up and round, palms and hands come together. Slide those arms back in front of you. Get the awareness through the fingertips. And then peel that spine forward and down. Take a breath. And restack the spine all the way back up to neutral. All right, from here. And at the end of that mat, and roll it down into 4-point kneeling. Okay, so just tucking the chin, rolling the spine all the way down, and bringing yourself onto all fours, just bending the knees and coming out into your 4-point kneeling position. Hands below shoulders, knees below hips. Nice alignment through the spine. Be aware of that rib-hip connection. A little bit of work up into the center. Spread the fingertips nice and wide. Have a little bit of connection for the fingertips into the mat. Okay, and we'll start with our cat here, just tucking the tail under and rounding that spine up into our cat stretch. And then we lengthen the spine back to neutral and then extend, sending the tail away and lifting the chest up. Good. Come back to neutral. And then tail and round the spine back up. And then lengthen it back out to neutral and extend. Lovely, guys. One more just like that. Tuck that tail under, round the spine. And then lengthen through. And good. Come back to neutral spine here. Nice alignment, ribs through hips. Okay, have that nice awareness. Connection up and into center. We're just going to rock back here. So nice neutral spine. Rocking bottom to heels and then drawing ourselves forward. And we'll do the same again. Rocking back. And then just coming forward, keeping that nice little bit of awareness, ribs up towards hips, rocking back. Lovely. And coming forward. All right, little tail swish from side to side. Okay, swishing one way, swishing the other way. One more. And then I want you to roll the hips over those knees. So just rolling one way and then the other way. Let's get some movement into those hip joints. Okay. From there, I want you to take one knee just a little bit further back than the other. And we're going to do the same thing, just pushing back and forward. Okay, and you might feel that this is a little bit blocked on one side. We're just loosening up into the hips a little bit here. So just experience whatever range of movement you have there. And then I want you to pause when your shoulders are over your wrists and just do that little tail swish again. Little switch side to side. And then we're going to roll over the knees, sending the hips one way and then the other. And then we'll change the knee. So bring the knee you just had behind you back, and then change sides. So the other leg goes slightly behind you, and we push back and forward 3 times. Okay, just finding a little bit of movement into those hip joints. And then we'll do that little tail swish. Flicking the tail from side to side, shortening the waist one side and then the other. And then we'll roll over those hips. Lovely. Bring it back to center. Return the knee. Feet together, knees nice and wide. Switch back into a rest position. Tuck the chin. If you can, bring your head towards the floor and sit your bottom right back on your heels. I want you to do that and just breathe into the back of the body here. Taking a breath in and out. And one more, breathing in. And right, tuck that tail under and restack your spine all the way back up. We're going to come into a seated position. Okay. Let's have the soles of the feet together if we can. If you don't want to be on the floor, you can sit on a chair, but don't have the back behind you. Have the back of the chair to the side. A stool would be better in a way. So we're sitting, soles of the feet together, nice length up through the crown of the head, just having hands to the outside of those knees. I want you to be aware of your toes touching, the soles of your feet touching, having a little bit of awareness in there, lifting up through the crown of the head here. I want you to think about your cat stretch we just did in 4-point kneeling and find it here, tilting that pelvis back as you round the spine. And then we draw ourselves up and back onto those sit bones. And we do the same thing again. Tilt the pelvis back, round the spine, and then draw yourself forward and up, keeping the soles of the feet nicely connected. You can always draw them a little bit closer to you if that gives you a bit more space for movement. Bring it back up. Let's take the arms forward and away from the knees if we can. Feel free to flex the wrists here as well. So we are thinking about how we find that cat movement in this seated position. Drawing yourself back up. And we go again. Just tilt the pelvis back and round the spine. Lovely. Bring it forward. Okay. This time we're going to add in a roll back if you want to. Otherwise, you stay with what we've just been doing. So we tilt the pelvis back. We round that spine. We find that C shape. And then we roll back just to the sacrum, not too far. Take a breath there and return and grow tall. Good. 2 more exactly like that. Feed the spine back into that C shape. Roll it back. Breathe in. Keep the soles of the feet together if you can. Obviously, if you're sat on a stool or a chair, they'll just be on the floor. Good. 1 more. C shape. Starting from the tail, finding that section through the back, and then return. And build it all the way back up to neutral. Well done. Bring yourself round now into your relaxation position. I'm going to roll down all the way through. Feel free to use your legs as support if you want to, or use your hands on the mat to bring yourself down. So we're into our relaxation position here. Feet hip width apart, legs parallel. Let's just have a little tilt of the pelvis forward and back. Settle ourselves into neutral alignment, pubic bone in line with those hip bones, and then we'll have a little hip hitch from side to side here. And then again, just roll left and right across the back of the pelvis and the sacrum. And then again, we set ourselves into that neutral relaxation position. A nice alignment, ribs settled down, back of the head, resting on the floor or on a little head cushion. Okay, and we'll find our starfish. I want you to send one leg away from you, the opposite arm up and overhead. Good. Breathe in. Let's bring it back and change sides. Opposite arm and leg. Send them away. Breathing in to return. 2 more to each side. Opposite arm and leg slide away. Breathing in to bring it back. And again. We're keeping the pelvis nice and still, finding awareness into center here. One more to each side. Last one coming up here. Really nice. Come back into that relaxation position, hands on hips. Take it into a single knee drop. Just sending that knee out to the side and then picking that knee up and drawing it back in. And then we change sides, single knee drop. And then draw it back in. Good. 2 more to each side. Single knee drop. Pelvis stays still. Have your hands on your hip bones for a little bit of feedback and awareness. 1 more to each side now. Keep that standing leg grounded. Okay, so you're not letting those the standing leg fall out to the side as well. All right, returning that. Come into a single knee fold. And maybe a double knee fold if that feels okay for you. Otherwise, you just alternate legs. And then we're going to return those feet to the floor one at a time. Change the lead leg, and here we go. Single knee fold, double knee fold. Breathe in, hold. Breathing out, return. First foot, then second foot to the floor. 2 more on each side. Here we go. Single knee fold, double knee fold, and then we return. 1 foot and then the other foot to the floor. And again, single knee fold, double knee fold, and return. 1 leg, and then the second leg to the floor. Well done. Just bring your feet a little bit closer to your bottom, and we'll take it into some spine curls from here, just tucking the tail, tilting the pelvis back, and just peeling that spine all the way up into that top bridge position. Taking a breath there, and then slowly bringing that spine all the way back down to the mat, bone by bone. Lengthening through to neutral, and then we go again. Tilt the pelvis back, peel that spine up. Good. Find that bridge position there. Keep the arms just pushing into the mat behind you, and bring that spine all the way back down. 2 more exactly like that. It's always 2 more. Those of you that know me, it's always 2 more. I'm going to mix that up one day, and you'll end up doing 5 more. Last one here, tilt the pelvis. Peel that spine up bone by bone. Stand into those feet. Elevate the hips up towards the ceiling. Breathe there. And now really pay attention to keeping the hips as high as you can here for as long as possible as you bring the rib cage back to the mat. And then keep thinking about that pelvic tilt as you bring the lumbar spine through. And then all the way through into that relaxation position. Connect your feet together, connect your knees together, find that inner thigh connection. I'm going to change position on the mat slightly for you here. Arms nice and wide for me. Okay, we take it into our hip rolls from here, palms up towards the ceiling. Breathing out, rotate. Breathing in, let's come back to center. And breathing out, we go the other way. And breathing in, we come back to center. So nothing too wild here. Obviously, if you want to take it up a level, if you want to be in a double knee fold here, you could be. We're just going to keep it quite simple today. I just want movement. I just want to keep everything moving as it should be. I'm not looking for immense challenge. Just keep everything moving. A little stretch out. Go for a couple more. I'm not saying 2, just saying a couple. Here we go. Started in this direction, so I'm going to do 1 more to the other side. Really nice. And then from there, I'm going to take the hands behind my head. I'm going to roll myself onto my side. And I'll come back to look at the camera a little bit more here. And I'm going to bring my knees up quite nice and high in front of me. So I'm on my side. I'm trying to be hip over hip, shoulder over shoulder, a little bit of lift in my waist. I'm going to support my head here with my hands. If that feels a little bit sort of too tight for you, put the cushion under your head and you can have the arms out long in front of you. Okay, we're going to rotate the spine here. As you breathe out, I want you to just turn your head up towards the ceiling. Take the head in your hands and just open the elbows out. And then breathing in, we're going to roll that back. Okay, keep an awareness into center, that little bit of lift in the waist. And we rotate. And then we breathe in and return. And 1 more like that. Breathing out. Rotate the spine. Breathing in. Let's return. Keep the bottom hand behind your head. For this one, we're going to lift this top arm up. We're going to rotate. I'm just supporting my head in my hand a little bit here. I'm taking the load of the arm as I breathe out, and I'm just getting that extra little stretch across the front of the chest and the shoulder. Breathe there for a moment. And then when you're ready, find your center. Start to draw the rib cage back round, and the arm will follow all the way through until you're reaching the arm as far forward as you can. And then we'll just slide it back in. Okay. Send that bottom arm now nice and straight. You can just rest your head in there. Bring your feet back in line with your bottom. And we find a little bit of oyster. Just keeping those hips moving. Okay, nicely lined through. Breathing out to lift that top knee. Breathing in to lower it down. Breathing out, lift. And in to lower. Lift and lower. 3 and 2 and 1. Just bring yourselves up into a little seated position. We'll do a side reach before we go on to the other side. Soles of the feet together, or you can sit on a chair if you want to, nice length up through the crown of the head. One arm floats up, reach it now, breathe in and lift to the ceiling, and then breathing out, find that side flexion. Good, breathe in, lift. Switch the arms, lift up a little more, and then breathe out, side reach. Good, breathe in, lift. Switch the arms, breathe outside flexion. Good, and one more. Really nice, lift it up. Bring yourselves round onto the other side. Hands are coming behind your head. Legs can be up in that nice chair position. All right, shoulder over shoulder, hip over hip. Line yourselves through. Make sure your ribs line through to the hips nicely. Okay, hands behind the head. And we go into those little openings out. So breathing out, rotate the part of your spine. Breathing in, draw it back. Breathing out, off we go. We're just taking the weight of the head in the hands there as you roll through. And then bring it back round. One more just like that. Breathing out, rotate. Breathing in, draw it back. Now release that top arm, reach it forward. And now we float that arm up. We turn the head and neck to look at it. As we breathe out, bone by bone, we travel round. And we reach that arm behind us, getting that little stretch across the front of the shoulder and the chest. And then when you're ready, as you breathe out, find your center and now draw the rib cage back first. The arm follows. And then we float that arm down. And you just take a little reach forward. Draw it all the way back in towards you. Feet come in line with your bottom. Arm reaches up the mat. Okay, 6 oyster. That's all we're doing. Nice alignment here. 6. Keep the hips nice and still. 5, 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Well done. Roll onto your tummies. Find your Cobra position. Legs out long behind you, slightly wider than your hips. Take a breath in. Neutral spine here. Find your centering. And as you breathe out, draw that line with your nose. Lead through the crown of the head. Just find a little extension. Thoracic spine. And then return. Tucking the chin. And then we go again. Breathing out. And then tuck the chin back in. Breathing out, extend. Now, those of you that like to fully extend the spine, if you feel like you're there and ready, you can push through those arms to extend that spine up. If you don't want to fully extend the spine, stay with the prep. We've got just 3 more. Slide the nose away, lead with the crown of the head. Stay in prep or push up through into that full Cobra. Good. Return. Nice, everybody. 2. And this is our last one right here. Ready? Breath in to prepare. Breathing out. Lead with that nose and the crown of the head. Find that extension into the back line of the body. And breathe. Well done, guys. Just turn your head from side to side here, whether you're in prep or in your full Cobra. Tuck the chin very slightly. Return that spine down. And you're going to bring your feet together. Keep your knees nice and wide and push back into a rest position. Just tucking the chin, rounding the spine. Let's see if we can bring our head to the floor. Let your bottom sit on your heels so we can fully relax the spine and breathe here. Breathing out and into that stretch, and then once more, breathe in. Send the air into your back. And exhale. All right, tuck the tail under. Round the spine all the way back up. And very carefully come up to standing. Okay, we finish. Feet hip width apart. We're even through those feet. Standing nice and tall. A little bit of awareness into center. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, float those arms up and round and clasp them behind your head. Breathe into shrug. Out, release. Open the elbows. Stand the arms up. Look up, lift the chest if you want to. And then float your arms wide and all the way back down by your side. Give your shoulders a roll. And that is our little mini stretch out for today. Thank you very, very much for joining me, guys. Really soon. Take care. Bye.